So 4 goals tonight. What a dramatic week on Prime after those games on Boxing Day that saw those wins for Forest and Bournemouth and Luton, Liverpool and Manchester United. Wolves have won again in a thumping win at Brentford tonight by 4 goals to 1, and a much needed return to winning ways for Chelsea against Crystal Palace at the Bridge, courtesy of a late Madueke penalty there. 3 points from Mauricio Pochettino, 3 goals in the comeback and 3 points for City here, and 2 more games still for you this week on Prime. Spurs are at Brighton tomorrow, a 7:30 kickoff, and at 8:15 it is Arsenal against West Ham in the London derby. So at half-time it was looking a lot more positive in terms of the table for Everton, but of course back-to-back Premier League defeats. They've also seen Luton put back-to-back Premier League wins together, so they are still just a point ahead of Luton Town. They've now played a game more. Everton remain a point behind Forest and just 1 above the drop zone. But Manchester City began the night, of course, 8 points off the top with those 2 games in hand. They've reduced that gap on Jurgen Klopp's side to 5. They still have 1 more game in hand as well. And remind you can see tomorrow on Prime, if Arsenal can go back to the top of the tree, they will do so if they beat West Ham.
How do you sum up the night?
Yeah, well, I thought we played really well in the first half. It seemed to be the same story in the previous games. But, you know, the manager is big on at half-time to just keep believing. We haven't got this badge for no reason, you know, so we have to believe in ourselves because we're a top team. And I think in the second half, yeah, wow, I think we blew them away with the way we played. But, you know, I'd like to praise Everton as well because they've been doing really well recently and they're a top side and they make it difficult. So yeah, really happy with the result. Difficult place to come.
Did you catch Jordan Pickford by surprise, do you think, with your shot?
Maybe, because I hit it so quick. Yeah, maybe I caught him by surprise, yeah. I don't know, I'll have to see it back. It happened so quickly. Yeah, I was just delighted to see it hit the back of the net.
And after that, was it the mark of champions, the way you grew into the game after that?
Yeah, I think we needed that first goal that I scored to just give us momentum. And I think after that, yeah, like I said, we blew them away and played tremendous football, so really happy.
You're having this great run in the team right now. Is this as consistent as you've been? Is it as good as you've felt?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I've had a good run of games, and you know how much I like playing in the middle as well. And yeah, thanks to the manager, he keeps playing me there at the moment. And yeah, long may that continue because I enjoy it every time I play in there.
And there might have been a second for you as well.
Oh my God, so close. I hit it so well, and yeah, on another day it hits the post and hits the inside of the post and goes in. But the most important thing is that we won. So yeah, I'm delighted.
And a touch of class as well from Bernardo.
Yeah, mate, he's a tremendous footballer, one of the best footballers I've seen. You know, because he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but the way he uses his brain in the game, it's something that I always try and learn of. So yeah, tremendous football, and it's so important for us.
Well, these fans will believe there's more to come and another title to come. When you look into the second half of the season now, what do you feel? And obviously key players to come back in.
Yeah, we've got massive players to come back in, you know, the likes of Earl, Doku, Kev as well. So we've got 3 important players there to come back. And
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, Erling, yeah. So yeah, when they come back, hopefully it'll make the team stronger, and we need them at the moment because we're short on numbers. So looking forward to when they come back.
Phil, well done tonight. You are the player of the match. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
In the second half, he said, "We haven't got this golden badge on our shirts for nothing. Keep believing." Is that managerial brilliance at half-time?
Well, it is, clearly. I think obviously it's the psychological aspect that is very difficult to train, is very difficult to work on. Everything is visual in a tactical aspect, in a technical concept, but I think that psychology of keep believing, in the first half it was, I think you have to give credit to Everton. They played the game that they wanted. They disrupted Man City within their control of the game. They scored a good goal, and it would be very easy for Man City to doubt. And I think the key element there from Pep Guardiola is just to give them a message of confidence, of tranquility, and just coming out and performing the way they did, like real champions.
It's like Paris, this, Gail, isn't it?
The umbrella.
Isn't that incredible, Steve, though? Premier League champions, European champions, now world champions, and the manager still has to tell them to keep believing. I mean, these are the best players around. You know, you possibly haven't seen a team like this for a long time, yet they still need reminding, and that's how hard this Premier League is. They challenged every single week, and they needed to keep believing today because Everton, you know, put up a stern test.
But that, as you were telling us earlier on, is what it's like to play under Pep Guardiola.
Yes, obviously the football is beautiful. What they've done over the years is beautiful. And like Roberto said, it's very easy for anyone to analyze and saying, okay, the half space and we should find this player and this player. But I remember the first season when he came, the first thing he told us is that his team has to work. He wants his player to work more than the opponent. So it is something that is really, within him. And even if we have the ball and we want to look pretty and we want to score goals and we want to create chances, we also want to outrun and play stronger than the opponent. And I think tonight that's what happened. First half, it was a difficult one. They managed to, with the quality, to make the difference. But for sure, halftime, he told them, guys, we have to go because we have the quality, but we have to do more because this is who we are.
Absolutely. Let's get some Everton reaction. The man who gave his side a half-time lead. Jack Harrison's with Gabriel.
Jack, is there a sense of frustration, albeit against the champions, that having taken the lead, you couldn't quite see it through?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. After how we started the game, I thought, we started the first half really well and we were really organised. Obviously, they're, a great side with a lot of talent as well. So maintaining that for 90 minutes is always difficult. And unfortunately, today we just slipped up on a couple of things, and it was costly today, against the best side. So it's something that we just have to be aware of going forward.
I think in many ways the turning point from an Everton point of view was the penalty for handball. Did you have any idea, any view on it? What's your thinking on it?
Personally, I haven't seen it back again. Everything happens so quick, in the game. They've got all the technology these days to make the right decisions. So, it happened. We tried to bounce back, but unfortunately we weren't able to do so.
And after that, there was a great chance. You put over the cross, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin has that chance to equalise.
Yeah, we were just speaking about it then to see if maybe I could have done something a little bit better on the cross. Or I think another good chance, a bit unfortunate. But these are big moments in the games that we need to capitalise going forward, and we're going to do our best to do that.
The level of performance has been very good coming into this. Was tonight the level of performance you'd hoped?
I think, like I said, we started the game well. I think to maintain that for 90 minutes is always a goal of ours, and we didn't do that today. So on that side of things, we can definitely improve, and we'll be looking to do that going into the weekend.
And of course, you look at the table, albeit you've been on this good run, it's now 1 point above the relegation zone with teams below you picking up points.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a long season left. We can only control, what we can do. We have to just keep going game by game. We've got another great opportunity this weekend to try and get some points back. So everyone's going to be, resting, recovering and preparing again for the next game.
And one bright note for you, I suppose, scoring against your former club, Manchester City, and a nice moment at the end with Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, he's always been very nice with me, and he's has a conversation with me after every time we see him. So he's a great guy, one of the best managers. I can understand why he's considered the best after playing with him just a little bit of time. But he's always been nice to me. It is nice to get a goal against an old club, but grateful for my time there, and I'll always have great memories.
And you see them as favourites again for the title?
I think so. We'll have to see how the year goes.
Jack, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Who's to mention the weather, because we're in a privileged position, but we were under a little bit of danger, so we've repositioned Test match cricket style maybe into the stand here. But let's talk about Phil Foden's strike, because that was important to get them back into it. And we were just saying many times in that half, Roberto, how sweetly he strikes a football.
He does, yeah. I think it's an example for any young player that he wants to play football. Sometimes you get really clean strikes. What you don't get is that every strike is clean. And I think that's what we saw with Phil Foden. I think he's got 7 shots during that game, and probably the best one is the one that he finishes at the back of the net. Very, very difficult for Pickford, because the moment that is a second phase set play and Man City got good composure. I think what they showed in the second half is they kept that ball in that final third a little bit more with a real clinical idea, but they were very patient using the width. And when the ball comes back, Pickford almost tries to anticipate where the next ball is going to go, and he leaves his near post open. But what a clean strike, a beautiful, beautiful example of how the ball should be hidden.
Any blame whatsoever to Jordan Pickford there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll probably look back at it and think, I shouldn't be beaten from that far out on my near post. Alan Shearer spotted it straight away in commentary. He takes a big step to his right just as Phil Foden's about to strike it. And unfortunately for him, it goes into that corner. So, but there's certainly there's certainly part of the goalkeeper that says, yeah, if I hadn't have taken... Now, who knows whether he anticipated the ball going in the other corner or whether he was taking a step to actually get a clearer sighting of the ball. But one way or the other, he took a step to the right that really ended up, given a bigger space. But what a strike. I mean, he hit it so sweetly. Some people have just got that ability, I don't know, to strike it much more clean and much more... Their timing is better than others. And Phil Foden, for somebody that's so slight, his legs aren't massive, he kept an awful amount of power.
And apart from his strike, he enjoyed himself in that second half. It must be a defender's nightmare. With the way he glides across the pitch, Gail.
He's beautiful to watch, and like you said, I think the way he strikes the ball is also the way he plays football. The control when the ball comes down. If he needs one touch, he will only need one touch. If he needs two, he will make two. In the first half, I think it was in the 15 minutes when he controlled the ball with his under of his foot around the defender. This is not something that you see often, and like Roberto said, I think he could have had a hat-trick from a long distance shot today. He's a beautiful player. I think he's got so much room to improve. And again, I think in modern days football, you need your players to have the knowledge of how to play different positions. And he's the prototype of new generation player. He can play also up front. I'm pretty sure he can play number 9. He can play on the wing. He can play number 8. He can play number 10. It's just a matter of where he feels better.
Probably play number 3 knowing him.
Well, I don't know. But with Pep, he's got that ability to make the players play to their best strength, and tonight it was a game for him, and he didn't let his team down.
Oh. Now then, the big moment at 1-1. I'm going to ask each of you individually, because it was a big moment. The penalty incident. What was your initial reaction?
This is a very strong debate that it goes in world football. We're talking about the referees are given, let's say, is a very close action. Amadou Onana is very close to the ball. You can see it here. The law now says that the arm needs to be in a natural position. Well, what is a natural position? I think Amadou now is in a natural position. He's trying to correct his body very, very quickly. The ball is in front of him. For me, it's not a penalty at all. For me, that football people knows that that's not a penalty. Now, by the law, we know that the referee has to give a penalty kick. That's the contradictory that we have in the game. And for me, in that moment, the celebration of the players of City told the whole story. Yeah. The hungriness of celebrating that decision. They knew that was a key decision to try to win the game. That's almost the aspect of the image of that moment. But it's something that needs to be reviewed. The law, I don't think, goes along with what football should be.
What did you think?
When I first saw it, I thought penalty. I thought that's a handball. When I see it again, I don't think his arm is way outstretched, but I think Roberto's right. By the laws now, have you made yourself bigger? Probably slightly. Is it a natural position? Well, I think it is. But some people will argue. I think you'll get a good debate on this one. But as the laws stand, I think it was the right decision to give a penalty.
I think they've said it all. I think by the rule it's a penalty, and we can't really argue about it. As a player, when we played football, sometimes you go into challenge to block a shot. You don't control your hands. Even when you defend, you cannot have your hands by your side of your body. So it's not a penalty, but by the rule.